LSU plays Arkansas, 11 a.m. local time, noon Eastern, Saturday on ESPN. This is what we call a caution tape special, because all you remember is what you last saw. And what you last saw is Hugh Freeze going in there and taking the whack-a-mole hammer to Sam Pittman and the Hogs. And as that was happening, you saw Brian Kelly take down Nick Saban in Baton Rouge in year one. And then I throw these two teams on a field and they put a line of 3 on it. And you say, this is free money, right? No, it's not free money, because we have this thing in mathematics and in college football called a progression and a regression to the mean. And the bottom line is Arkansas lost as about a 2-touchdown favorite last week, and LSU won as about a 2-touchdown dog last week. These two things do not just continue to happen, and so odds makers are saying, we think LSU is better than Arkansas, probably by about 6 or 7 points. We're going to shave it down to 3 for home field, and you guys have at it. And people are going to dump money on LSU this week. We'll see what we think about it. But it's a letdown spot versus a wounded animal spot, and it's going to be really, really juicy because you don't have to wait for it. It's one of the first games you see on Saturday. KJ Jefferson is really what the outcome of this game is all about. That's not disrespecting LSU. I'm saying if I don't have a healthy Jefferson, LSU is going to run away with the game. Whereas if I have a healthy KJ Jefferson, and by healthy, I don't mean 100%. I just mean a quarterback that can beat me multiple ways. A quarterback whose entire toolbox I have to account for. If I have him, that's how Arkansas could be competitive here. But Jaden Daniels, the reason why you got to have your horse ready to go is because Jaden Daniels is not giving you anything. He is right now 3rd best among quarterbacks in all of FBS when it comes to touchdown to interception ratio. So, you watch his style of play, and if you didn't know better, you would say, oh, he's going to be mistake-prone playing like that. He's really not, or at least he really hasn't been. Now, if he is Saturday, then that would just be a one-off in the most unlikely of spots. But it was gut check time last week for LSU. It's gut check time this week for Arkansas. They're fighting to make a bowl up there. Now, they still got to make a bowl. And right now, it doesn't feel good around the program because you lost against A&M, and that one really sets you up the next week for losing to Alabama, and then you've got injuries at quarterback and you lose to Mississippi State. But when they went to Brigham Young and then went to Auburn and they won both those games by double digits, it felt like something had turned. And then last week happens, and they're down 3 scores and they bench Jefferson because he was hurt. He's just playing hurt. Anybody watching with common sense understood what they were seeing, and they almost came back, but that doesn't count. And now what do? You're a 4-loss team. You're 5-4. They need to beat either LSU, Ole Miss, or Missouri to make a bowl. They would love to do much more than just make a bowl. But see, this game here, there are going to be so many folks who look at it and say, Arkansas, oh, you mean that team that just lost to Liberty? Or LSU, oh, you mean that team that just beat Alabama? I don't mean either of those things. You could get LSU win by 30. You could get them losing by 20 Saturday. You don't get the same versions of teams week to week. Now, some of them, like Georgia, become so good that you consistently get a great version of them. But even Georgia, you will not get the exact version of Georgia against Mississippi State this week that you just saw pound on Tennessee. That's not the way that college athletics work. So what you hope to build is consistency, but it's a crapshoot any given week. And there is a basically a gap of variance, and for the undisciplined teams it's a little wider, but you just kind of close your eyes and you draw a version of yourself out of that barrel, and that's what I get any given week. If I get a better version of Arkansas and a worse version of LSU, you could easily see an upset this Saturday. But you need the best game you've had in a while from Arkansas on the line of scrimmage, because if you don't get it, LSU could tilt this thing. Because LSU's offensive line, based on what we thought they were going to be earlier in the year, is playing out of their mind. They've settled in on a rotation. They ran it for way more than they had any business running it against Alabama. They could do the exact same thing this week. And if you're having even moderate success on the ground, Arkansas is, I think, what are they? They are 3rd worst in FBS in passing yards allowed, over 300 a game. So you could have an entire complement of the LSU offensive playbook available if you're not standing up at the line of scrimmage. And consider the stakes. Man, consider the stakes for both teams. Different goals, but both teams have high stakes here. I want you to look at what the model thinks. I think you'll be surprised. I was. Model has Arkansas winning the game outright. Arkansas -1, so almost a pick 'em, but for the record, it does lean Arkansas. The Caesars line right now is LSU -3. I was texting a number of people before the show because look, if you give me a 100% healthy KJ Jefferson, I got no problem picking the upset. I've seen this stuff happen before. But I'm not going to pick it because I don't know what the status of Jefferson is, and I think LSU is playing really good ball right now. And I know crazier things have happened, and crazy things happen in the sport every week, but Arkansas is going to have to show me Saturday because until further notice, I'm going to slightly lean towards LSU to win, and if I'm going to lean that way to win, I'm going to take them to cover as well. No money will be wagered on that game. Guys, thanks for watching Late Kick. Make sure and leave a comment. I love interacting with you. But most of all, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's how we keep all of this free.